I built a LEGO Zenvo TSR-S with a working steering mechanism and rear wing. And this is how. Now, just before the video starts, I just wanted to say that the instructions for this model can be found on my Rebrickable page. Link is in the description. Now, let's get into the video. So, I just started working on the Zenvo TSR-S and this is what I've got so far. So, for those of you who follow me on Instagram might know that I've already built a TSR-S almost a year ago, but I'm not so happy with the design anymore. So I decided to build a second version of it. So the first and major change are the headlights, so I now use these bar pieces attached to a 1x1 plate with bar. And then for the center grille I used the same techniques that I used on the last version. So I just used these panels and they are attached to the car using some bars with clips. And then for these parts under the headlights I just angled some curved slopes. And then I'm also trying to build a working steering mechanism, because I want to try and connect that steering mechanism to the steering wheel and to this rear wing, just like how it works on the real car. But it will be quite a challenge. So let's see what I can make out of it. Now let's keep on building. So I made quite some more progress on the Zenvo TSR-S. So the sides are now nearly finished and the mechanism is now actually fully functional. So what I did is I used a gear rack and some gears to connect the steering mechanism to the wing and the steering wheel. So now when you rotate the steering wheel, both the wheels and the ring will rotate. And it actually works really well, so I'm really happy with the result of that. And then for the sides I used these panels for the lower part, but they had to be lowered an extra half a plate, because they would otherwise collide with this wedge plate. And further I just used some plates and tiles and some slope. It's not something really special. Now let's keep on building again. So I made quite some more progress on the Zenvo TSR-S, and as you can see the rear is now nearly finished. But it was a pain to design because I wanted to make it a bit of an original design. But it was really hard to make it work because of the working spoiler, so it got pretty complicated. So the tail lights are attached to this 1x1 headlight brick, which is then attached to some plates and this slope. And it is angled by some modified plates. Then the spoiler is attached to some axles with some Technic bricks attached to them, to which these red slopes are attached. And then I used these candle pieces for the exhaust, which are attached to a 1x2 round plate. Now let's keep on building again. The Zenvo TSR-S is now completely finished. So I ended up building the roof 5 studs wide, because I felt 6 studs was way too wide, and it is attached using a hinge brick. And the interior is extremely simple because I wanted to leave as many space open to make it easier to reach the steering wheel to operate the functions. And it does fit one minifigure, but if you aren't planning on fitting minifigures, I would strongly suggest attaching a too long bar to the steering wheel, which will make it way less likely to fall off. And overall, I am just so happy with how this model turned out, especially the functions, because they turned out exactly how I wanted them to work. And lastly, I think it is quite a massive improvement over the last version. Well, that's basically it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, then please make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and goodbye for now.